So first you're going to look at your team comp and see who you want to prioritize damage boosting on. You have Sombra. She's going to be off on her own most of the time, so you won't have to worry about her. You have Zarya. She's a pretty good one if she's high charge, but generally you don't need to damage boost her. You have a Widow somewhere in there where you are damage boosting, which is good. She just generally increases your pick potential on most times. Reinhardt is good if you're in a brawl, and so is Brigitte, but prioritize Reinhardt over the Brigitte since he has higher damage.
Let's get to work. Damage increase.
We're going loud.
This is good. This carries your lock into the code. Same behind the tank. You take a lot of damage, so it's great die. And you go for the res. But before you go for reses, I want you to ask your team to help you, especially since you're very low here and you could easily die. You could ask for like a Zarya bubble or for the Rein to keep his shield above you while you're resing or something. Because res is a whole team effort. Since it's not instant anymore, it takes time, you're very vulnerable during it, you need to make sure that you have your team backing you up while you do it.
I didn't have my
This is not your time. You should be at
Pushing in.
You take more damage, and you're very low here, so you could ask for the Brigitte to heal you, which would be a good thing. Just to make sure that you don't die, because she doesn't have eyes in the back of her head. You need to let your team know that you need help sometimes. Unlucky Rein charge.
Look to the left.
Do the fight. You reset.
Back up.
Ah, the wonders of modern medicine.
Now, the Sombra switches to Hanzo, which is probably the best target to damage boost now, since he has Storm Arrow and a lot of spam damage. He'll take down the shield really quickly. He could get random picks at almost any time. Damage boosting him is really good.
Okay, let's go right this time. Bottom right. I got a pick.
Damage boosting Hanzo.
Okay, let's go.
I thought we were going bottom right. I got separated.
Just stop right.
It's coming from behind.
I love you, Zarya.
I'm gonna push that.
You gotta stop pushing.
You get shattered, kill you, get in the fight,
That's gonna cook you every time.
slide over.
Find it.
Yeah, build another damage.
Damage increase.
My ultimate is charging.
Alright, chill out. You're getting fucking lost.
Healing stream engaged.
I definitely have a bunch of bullets ready.
Now here, there's no real reason to walk out there. I want you to pretty much, as much of the time as possible, stay safe. That's the first thing about Mercy positioning. You need to be safe. Since you have res, that's basically another teammate's life. So even if somebody else dies, you can still res them with the help of your team. So your life is more important than pretty much anybody else on your team, except for a few very specific situations. But especially here, there was no reason to poke out there. So make sure you're safe as much as possible.
Enemy contact. Let's get you back out there. Heroes never die.
And there you Valk, but you didn't really call that you were gonna Valk, or when you were gonna Valk. So it could have been a good ult if you waited a bit longer and then said you wanted to Valk. But this just kind of rushes your team into the enemy, and they don't really know what's going on. It kind of gets you more disorganized if you don't call it.
Okay, start. Poke back out.
I get caught in the code. That res was very risky, since the Moira was ulting, there was like 4 of them right there. They could have easily killed you. And plus, you were already a couple down. So it probably wouldn't have been worth it, but I believe it would have. If he kills here. Yeah, and you're fine too. And that actually works out. But generally, that wouldn't be a good res, and you'd probably just want to reset there. Especially since you didn't have your team to help you with res.
Let's push.
My ultimate is almost ready.
But it does take out this time.
Yes, I'm taking the objective. Converge on me.
Yeah, behind you guys. Hear me?
Look higher, you want to run into the corner alone. Unfortunately, the Kuda gets caught with
Or run
you.
straight.
He got both healers.
You got the point. It's all fine. There's little
Kill me.
Damage increased.
waiting to spawn for your tank. It's good.
I will not waste this opportunity.
Stirs within me. My ultimate is ready.
Oh, also, you do have a Pharah now instead of a Widow, I think it was before, so she's also now a very good target to damage boost, as well as the Hanzo. If you just pocket your Pharah, sometimes that can carry team fights. But since you are the main healer, you still want to pay attention to your tanks as well.
Damage boost engaged.
Then,
Let me get you patched up.
unlucky spam. Wasn't a whole lot you could have done about
Mercy's
that.
dead. Be careful.
Although, when you died there, your tanks did call out that you were dead, but you didn't say it. And I think that would be very helpful for you if you called out whenever you died. Just to let the team know that they can't be aggressive, they lost a bunch of healing, they have to wait. But this time your tanks did call it out for you.
Be careful. Invite.
We're
A
at 2 seconds,
speedy
right?
recovery.
So they wait for you, that's good.
Wait up.
I'm just getting all charge.
You needed a doctor?
No, here you're very much tunnel visioning on the
Alright, get by
Zendaya,
me, I'm gonna
and
ult.
then your Reinhardt goes down there, but you don't realize. So when you're healing a target as Mercy, I'm pretty sure you probably know you don't have to look at them. So once you tether to a target, it would be a lot better just to look all around you, just to get in all of your surroundings, understand the situation. Looking at your target won't make them get healed faster.
Behind you. Behind you.
Very disorganized fight.
Alright, we gotta
Everybody went
stop
different
going
ways.
in like 3 different directions.
My ultimate is charging.
We literally all went through the same way. They just got fucked.
No, we didn't. 2 went left, and Pharaoh went right, and 2 went up down
got
below
you,
the
Brigitte.
middle.
3 of them went to the right, and then 2 of us went up top. Like,
There is a McCree close, and theoretically he could come up and kill you. I don't think he should, but it would still be safer to maybe be a bit further back. Yeah.
Zarya and Ryan went underneath.
You needed a doctor?
Again, you time vision really good. It didn't cost you too much this time, but
Heroes never die.
and that res super risky. Their whole team was there. Maybe if you called for a bubble, you would have been able to pull it off, but it's still super risky. Everybody was still looking at that target. You generally don't want to try to res in front of people. You want people to be looking away from you when you res, and your team to help you. So, as well as you used Valk without saying anything about it. So,
God damn.
it was great Saturday though.
Ah, the one. wonders of
I am
modern
taking the
medicine.
objective.
The hunger
You can use
says
that point.
chalk,
It's only an on point.
Science will reveal the
but it
truth.
is 2
Cree's
CP
got
and
ult.
you're already down
Cree's
at
got
2,
ult.
so you're not gonna win this fight.
He's below.
This will heal you.
This is somewhere, I'll probably get back to the point faster, I'm guessing.
Group up here.
Group up with me. I understand. Thank you. Hello.
Are you ready?
Waiting for your team to group up.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, going left again.
Alright, 1, 2, 3,
Doing
2.
poke damage. Brig gets instant killed. Just doing damage. Here, that was a very poor use of Fade. Since you weren't really in any immediate danger. And now, if somebody decides they want to attack you, you still have 4 more seconds until your Fade is back. So you really want to use Fade only in the most dire of situations. So you don't get caught out without it. And you do get caught out without it. You could have survived that.
That changes my thinking. I'm checking in.
You get Ana now. Instead of
Oh, that house was good.
My ultimate is charging.
didn't really need to use Fade there again. Well, I guess it made you safe.
Hey, come on.
Say left side.
Oh, shit.
Still going left into the zone.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Has another tire. Fortunately, it only gets you,
We gotta wait.
but
We
should
got three.
still be the fight over.
I must reflect upon this.
Yeah, fight over, everybody's resetting.
My ultimate
Get
is
into
almost
position.
ready.
Let's go in right. Yeah, let's go. Go right.
Going right
I'm
now,
restoring
which
you.
is better, not as imposed. Also better for your wings and jump easier. You dive in, you use Phase again for mobility. I explained it before, but use it in danger usually.
Junkrat.
Junkrat one. I'll get
This
one.
will be surrender to my
We'll
will.
probably keep the Reaper alive, but can get him. We're even right now. Still winnable fight. And with the shatter. You fade in reaction to the high noon, which is good, but he wouldn't instantly be able to shoot you anyway. So, I mean, at least you're reacting to an ability though. Stealing damage, keep Nano alive. Now here, you kind of ignore that there is a Rhine behind you and you start tunneling on the Ana. You probably should have saved your Fade to like run away, maybe, wait, let's go back a bit. Because Nanoed behind you, you didn't really need Fade before that, I don't think. Just got knocked from the air and just faded. What you could have done instead was waited until you were low and then maybe faded into this room or faded back down into main away from the nano boost Reinhardt so they wouldn't have died and you would have been able to heal your team still. But you used it and died instead. You also just weren't looking at the Reinhardt, and she probably should have been. Here's the fight, this last fight.
When faced with a setback,
You only end up with one
challenge our
fight.
assumptions.
My ultimate is charging.
Get into position.
Skip a little bit forward. Next round.
After everything that happened, I needed time.
Okay, what's your team comp? You've got Hanzo, very good damage boost target, like I was saying. Junkrat, another very good damage boost target. You've also got Ana, not usually the greatest damage boost target. She's probably going to be healing the team most of the time, so you don't really need to think about her. Ball is probably going to be out of your vision. You won't be able to get to him without putting yourself at extreme risk, so don't worry about him. And then Reinhardt again, just mainly brawls is what you're going to be damage boosting him in. So mainly your DPS in this situation is what you're going to be damage boosting.
Feels good to be home.
Another thing I should note is you should always look out for when Reinhardt's fire striking. That's also a very good time to damage boost, but only when he's fire striking or when he's in a brawl. Otherwise,
back.
pretty much a
I'll
waste.
just shoot you from way behind.
I've got you.
It's a very aggressive damage boost. If they have a widow, you could get sniped.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And it does go back though.
Attackers incoming.
This is a fine starting position. You could be over here, or kind of around your Hanzo, because if they have a widow and she jumps up on here, she could instantly kill you. So it's a little bit safer to be around here, but this is a fine starting position.
Defend objective A.
The junk guys is probably the pushover for them.
Schaden verstärkt.
Oh my god,
Let
he's
me
done.
get you patched up.
Stand on top. The dragon awakens.
Ooh, jumping. Hanzo gets another fake. Good that you keep damage boosting him.
Junkrat 1.
Unfortunately,
Amplified.
your junk is playing really in a really weird place, so you can't get a damage boost on him as well, but at least your Hanzo's in your line of sight.
Let's get you back out there.
See that which is
Now,
she was down to.
during all of
Back up, back
this, you
You
could,
can like rest it.
if you wanted to, you could be trying to ult track them, since there's a lot of dead air and nobody's really talking. So as Mercy, I think it's not easy, I'd say, but easier than with other heroes to learn to shot call. I think that would help you, or just even ult track in general. But that's really up to you, since it's a very stressful job and it might not be for you, but this would be a very good time to ult track them, even though they've pretty much just been dying the whole time.
Fire's coming out.
I think it's a good 2k.
See the dragon.
They're still holding strong.
Oh my god.
Well, doesn't really need to do that, but Junkrat goes left. You don't need to worry about that. The guy's behind. Pull back. Reinhardt is unnecessarily exposed this time. And here you're a little too close to Reinhardt, I'd say. You're kind of in the brawl. You'd probably want to be quite a bit further back. Kind of at the full beam distance, so that you can't get hit by the Zarya or the Reinhardt. Because you do not want to die, like I was saying earlier. You have the res. So if you can get that off, you're basically worth 2 people's lives. Sorry for my dogs. But you're 2 down. That's a point lost here.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay.
That's bullshit.
And there's scatter. You can't get this point back.
Hanzo ult coming in.
I got
Starting over from the beginning.
Dead.
Both your points are dead, Hanzo's dead. Yana's still going for it. Still... Yeah. Let's not go with that, honest.
New defense point.
Yeah, instead of
Definitely
Reinhardt,
think they're
try going D.Va or something.
Yana's still out there, just being super staggered right now. It really does hurt his
I don't
fun.
know.
He dies super late. They're coming in with 5v6 now. Just use it, yeah. Hope for the best. Both these things get anti. I'm hitting anything though. Just have a bunch of ults built up. Desperate res.
Dude, the Zarya's is melting.
It's unlucky your Ana got staggered. They had a lot of ults built up from the other point.
Oh.
So you lost. But yeah. In general, I'd like you to be more aware of your surroundings by looking around more instead of focusing on the target that you're healing. I'd also like you to be more communicative about when you want to res or when you want to ult. And with Moira, pay attention to when you're fading. Try to make it only when you're on low health or there's something life-threatening occurring.